Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go.
Are you ready to be entertained? Let's get into another reaction, y'all. This is Monsters. This is the Lyle and Erik Menendez story. This is the last episode of this series. It took me a while, guys. I was trying. I was on the right path, and I needed just a few days here and there off, which has delayed me. But we are here. Now, I do know that people did say for me to watch the documentary, I should say. Documentation. I was just looking for documentation. They wanted me to look for the documentary, and I believe it's like 2 hours long. I said, if you guys want me to do it, I will do it, but I will be splitting it up into like a two-parter thing, just because it's so hard for me to. And if I don't do the two-parter thing, what I probably would do is film it and then just edit it and take my time to edit it, which would take about like a week maybe for me to push out. But it's very, very possible. If you want me to, I will watch it. It's equivalent to a movie, so it's gonna take me a while to edit it. I'm gonna edit it slowly, and that's just that. Regardless, you want to see this in full reaction, the links are down below. Please hit the like button, share, and comment. And let's find out what's going to, I actually know what's going to happen. They're going to be in jail. But let's see more in depth what's going to happen in this type of story. We do know that he mixed some things that was true or not true. And I believe some people did say that the last episode was mostly not really what happened. So I'm going to find out for myself, and then you guys will comment down below and let me know what you thought about this final episode and the series altogether. So without further ado, let's jump into Monsters and find out exactly what the show has got to give.
Matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. And Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder and violating count 1 of the information.
So what are you saying? That we're f***ed now? Because I gotta level with you, I just don't see it that way.
They're out for blood. Garcetti cares about one thing, that is his re-election. That is why they are trying to gut our case.
I understand that. Then you need to file a motion. This is even more of a reason that we're not gonna bring on some shitty public defender, Leslie.
Well, it's nice to finally meet. Come on in.
Oh, it's not happening. It's just a no. My preference would be to have Jill back or call Cochran.
I can't just call Cochran.
You know how much money I was able to raise just this past week.
Well, you know, I'm glad you bring that up. In helping me, you're also voicing your support for so many other abused people. Monthly pledge card to the Lyle Menendez Defense Fund. How many times have I told you to stop writing terrible looks?
Says the woman making $4,000 a day on Dayline blabbing about OJ.
I just mentioned that I am still here fighting for your life pro bono.
I think that our catchphrase can be, if you've been abused, you cannot be accused. What the f is so funny?
You are unbelievable. You sound like an idiot.
Erik, do I need to remind you why we're here in the first place? Because of you. And all you had to do was keep your stupid little mouth shut.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Lyle Menendez, in his own words.
Fuck that crazy bitch.
No.
Hours of you on tape.
Okay, again, I did not know that she was
And you sound insane! And write all those crazy letters asking everyone to lie for us? Who are you?
What people say about you now? They say that you look dead in the eyes.
They call you a psychopath.
We were so close. Because of you. That we almost got out of here.
All we had to do was hang one more jury. We had to convince one more person. No one believes us. Lyle, everyone hates us. Everyone wants us dead. I don't want you to die, and I hate what we did. I wish it never happened. And the only thing I can do is try and save us, because it's all up to me now.
I'm not dying in here just because you're a pathetic, weak little...
Hey! I should have killed you too, you.
There he is. There's my brother. Take this into the courtroom, please, because I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Nice to see this again.
Take him out.
Do your job.
That is their strategy, to put the parents on trial because the defense failed. Phony story, that never took place.
Objection.
Overruled. Wrote a book that is more or less a glossary of all his lies.
Objection.
Overruled.
Objection.
Ms. Abramson, we're not doing this. Overruled. Judge people by what they do. Remember what Lyle and Erik Menendez did. Sold Jose Menendez the Alfa Romeo that he purchased for his son Lyle.
Dad, this car is a piece of shit.
Objection.
What are you objecting to?
That the price matters.
That's right, he don't like her.
Lyle was really mad about the Alpha.
I can lean over and I can touch the passenger seat. This feels like a f***ing clown car.
Your mother and I thought this was the car for
Well, you thought wrong. For f***'s sake. Wrap this up, sign the f***ing papers. Thank you for buying me a piece of shit.
Craig, you're one of the co-authors of Friends, aren't you? Not the hit TV show. An unproduced screenplay you and Erik wrote. Viciously murder their parents in cold blood.
Objection.
He can answer. Screenplay Friends that you and Erik wrote is about a character named Hamilton murders his parents.
Objection. Relevance.
Can't object to everything he says, counsel. Erik confessed to you, did he not?
He did.
Well, what did Erik tell you?
One of the movies, and Erik went inside to get his fake ID, but he didn't go in through the front door. He went in through the living room window because those doors were quieter and he didn't want to wake them up.
So they were asleep.
And then he also told me that when he got back to the car, Lyle was holding the gun.
That was when they murdered their sleeping parents.
Yes.
We gotta change our clothes. There's blood. Do you believe the murders were premeditated?
Objection.
You're shouting, counsel.
Well, I'm sorry I'm shouting. I'm angry.
I don't care if you're angry. You will control yourself in my courtroom. Familiar with a film called The Billionaire Boys Club?
It's basically what Lyle and Erik did. Rich kids who kill their parents for money.
Objection. Hold the court in contempt pretty soon because I am finding your rulings astonishingly biased.
He knew about the story way before it was a movie. I mean, we both did.
So 14 months before he killed his parents, Erik heard the story of how your parents were murdered.
Yes, correct.
Brian, did Lyle Menendez write you a letter from jail?
He wanted me to watch this movie called At Close Range.
That he said that the movie was unrealistic because the father would have killed the son as soon as the trouble started. And then you say that you always felt my dad was a powerful person and that you never felt welcome.
Please state your name.
Erik Galen Menendez.
Hi, Erik.
Objection.
I literally just said hi.
Intimidation.
I love her.
Erik, is it true you contemplated using a crossbow?
You could do it with a crossbow.
Damn.
You know, that wouldn't be an issue because we don't have to use an ID. Crossbows and it was just a thought. It went out of my mind like a second later.
Thought you couldn't get a gun, or when you'd already tried to get a gun? Just thinking about getting a gun, it means you had already tried to get one.
Your Honor, I'm going to have to object to that relevance.
Are there any other weapons you considered?
What if we just use a knife?
Trying to establish premeditation, created on, conspired about, meticulously planned the murder of their parents. It is central to the state's interest in this case. Correct.
Mistrial.
Oh, Miss Leslie, counsel proves special circumstances making her clients eligible for the death penalty.
I would just like to be heard.
Ms.
Your
Abramson,
Honor.
stop it. Is it true you initially bought birdshot as ammunition?
I think...
Quote, these are your words. We initially bought birdshot as ammunition.
Yes, I remember that.
And did you judge that not to be strong enough? Just buckshot, because buckshot is more lethal. After you had fired approximately 12 rounds.
Objection, we dispute that number.
I said approximately.
No love.
No. There's no love in this courtroom. It is there and there. Two heartless murderers who had no love for their parents. Because if you love your parents, you don't do this. The lack of love you're feeling, counsel. I think it's on that side of the table. Is it true you told Dr. Vickery that you handed him the last shotgun round? You don't know? I will quote you again. Ammo was rolling around in the trunk everywhere, so I handed the round to him.
Yes.
Erik, when you and Lyle were lying and you believed it was the mafia who killed your parents, you said that you believed that the mafia had used shotguns to make a mess and, quote, send a message. By make a mess, you meant...
You know, the mafia, they shoot out people's kneecaps and they just make a mess of their victims.
You and Lyle shot out your mother's kneecap. She was shot so many times, Erik. So many times that her skeleton effectively lost all structural integrity.
Objection.
Overruled.
Okay, yeah, you did that.
I've already testified to that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you planned to do it like that. Make it look like the mafia did it. You bought shotguns, you bought buckshot, and to make it look like the mafia did it. You didn't just come up with that in the heat of the moment. In legal terms, that's called lying in wait.
I understand what you're getting at. We didn't plan anything. My dad always told me that if I ever told anybody what was going on between us, he would kill me. I thought he was gonna kill us. And I didn't.
That preparation you described, the way you did it, proves that it was a premeditated double murder. Get to the lie that you were sexually abused by your parents.
Objection.
Overruled.
But we can get to it now.
JFK was shot, and the day I saw Erik and Lyle Menendez talking that way to their parents.
Why? Because you're a dad. You're a faggot. Exactly.
And just to reiterate, what day was this?
Saturday.
Lyle and Erik seemed scared of their parents.
Their parents were scared of them.
They found out the boat was used in the movie Tequila Sunrise, and they really liked that.
I got the third base watching that movie.
Yeah, it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
And when you heard that Jose and Kitty Menendez had been shot to death, tell the court what your first thought was.
Oh yeah, it was that the boys did it.
And you lived in the Menendez home 5 days a week.
Bedroom was in the main house by the kitchen.
Erik has testified that it was a violent home.
No, I never heard any shouting.
But what about fighting?
No, I never heard fighting, no shouting.
You worked for Jose Menendez for many years. Did you ever see him hit them? Or threaten them or shout at them?
Never. Jose was not an angry man. I never saw him angry.
She loved those boys. She would do anything for them. To accuse her of the things that they're saying that she did. You're gonna burn in hell for that, boys. You're gonna burn in hell.
Objection.
Overruled.
This is their only piece of evidence that abuse took place. One time, Erik Menendez got a bruise in the back of his throat.
Objection.
It is commonly seen in children.
Objection.
Overruled.
What if this is where their story came from? Author of this book advised the defense in the previous trial.
None of that is true. Demand a mistrial.
No. Sit down. Ms. Abramson, sit down. Now.
Down to how you should wear a yellow sweater on the stand to seem innocent. How many hours did they spend confessing to Dr. Oziel? When Erik confessed to his best friend Craig that they were the one, why didn't he mention the reason they killed him, this alleged sexual abuse? Because it never happened. It didn't even occur to them to say it till they met that woman right over there.
Objection.
Overruled. High-profile murderer client got off. How? The abuse excuse. Here's how it works. You take a few facts, okay? Jose Menendez hit Lyle in the arm once. Weave that into a story so horrific, it's almost impossible to believe. The only two people who could corroborate Leslie Abramson's story are dead in the ground. Dead Jose and dead Kitty Menendez have paid Leslie Abramson close to $1 million. Ridiculous story ever heard in a courtroom, but it's not going to work this time. Even if their story was true, they are still guilty. Committed a premeditated, multiple murder. Demands that you find them guilty, and the law demands that they be put to death. Not common is murdering people with shotguns. Placing a shotgun on the crown of your father's head is not common is placing a shotgun to the cheek of your mother.
Would the court ask Miss Abramson to stop playing hangman with her client?
Counsel, will you please stop playing hangman with your client?
It has been hell.
I would like to note that it is not my job to prove motive. Pretty clear what the motive is here. It's money. Lyle stated that his biggest goal in life was to have a Rolex. Father told him that he was taking them out of the will. So good luck, kids. Erik slept with a safe. Who does that? Was the new will in there? The one that cut him and Erik out of the will? In the weeks and months after they murdered their parents, they spent $700,000. And all they had to do to get that money, their father to be gone, all they had to do was one little murder. If mom is still alive, they got nothing. So mom had to go. Mom had to go too. The defendants and their legal team are guilty. They're guilty of exploiting the trauma of real sexual abuse victims everywhere. They're guilty of taking the memories of the good, decent mother and father whom they killed and dragging those memories through a putrid cesspool. Jose and Kitty Menendez were sleeping. They were sleeping. Can't defend themselves now against the lies those sons dreamed up. Jose and Kitty are calling to you from beyond the grave to defend them. You have the power to defend them now. You have the power to avenge them. Avenge them.
Do you still keep in touch with the Goldman family?
Wow.
I do. Think that O.J. Simpson is a free man. You've got a defense team that knows how to game the system. You can get away with anything. I'm actually leaving for Connecticut next week to finish my book.
Come on, Nick. You can't leave LA now.
I'm a little over the Menendez boys. They're has-beens. The culture's moved on, lost their luster, not to mention most of their groupies. Lyle's in a rather serious, committed relationship. Name's Anna Erickson. It started off as pen pals. Sweet Rapunzel are very much in love. Wedding bells could be in their near future.
And he's married.
What about Erik? The hurt man. Sounds like Eric's been having a rough time.
Give me back my book, please.
I didn't take your book.
Yeah, you did.
I said I didn't take your book!
He's been thrown in the hole. Another alleged escape plan. It's obvious he's feeling more on edge.
Does he still have the same girlfriend?
Last I heard, yes, Tammy.
To my dearest Tammy, wishing you 300 days of love, feel you near to my heart.
So, do you think he and Lyle will be found guilty this time?
After Rodney King, the riots, I don't think this town could survive another gross injustice. Legal maneuverings. This could be the end of the road for Erik and Lyle.
At least in the Menendez case, we'll hopefully see some justice after all.
If I still believed in hope, certainly hope so.
The jury has reached a verdict.
The jury find the defendant, Joseph Lyle Menendez, guilty of murder in the first degree. The defendant, Erik Galen Menendez, intentionally killed the victims while lying in wait.
Members of the jury, is this your verdict? Say you one, say you all?
Yes.
Defendants have been found guilty of first-degree murder with special circumstances. To consider two sentencing options: life without parole or death.
Oh, don't give me that crap. Those shits deserve to die, and you know it.
I think these boys were abused their entire lives. Maybe it did. Did you hear their family? Their cousins?
Oh, come on. Andy cared so much about his poor little cousin. Why didn't he say something about it years ago?
Horrible pornographic photos of the boys.
Oh, please. They took those photos themselves. Jose was such a pedophile. Why were there only 2 photos, huh? While we're on the photos, Andrew, let me see the one of the boys sitting on Jose's lap. Where I come from, we call it a Christmas card.
Okay, Lee, we're gonna have to move.
No. And then all that junk about attacking him with some Rambo knife? If it was the truth, then he should have just run away or told the cops. You know what, it's like you were born under a rock or something. You saw Erik on the stand. Even get me started on that creep in the wig. God only knows why he didn't testify. About missing his parents that he murdered, like missing his dog. Psycho! You expect me to have sympathy? And what about that poor mother? Scared? Why didn't they run away? That's what you do when you're scared. They say they were so scared of. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Expect me to believe a word of it? Well, I don't. And I never will. Not stop until you all get your heads out of your and put them to death.
Oh my God, someone get some help.
She dropped dead.
Somebody help us, please.
Crazy how some things work out.
I know we haven't spoken much since I was just an alternate. We never heard anyone say they were violent. All I heard about was how good they were. All those coaches. I kept thinking about their relatives, talking about how much they loved them. That's got to mean something. If I were in their position and lived through what they said they lived through, probably would have done the same thing. I've definitely snapped before. If there's even the slightest chance that what they said is true, I'm not going to be the one responsible for taking their lives, because I think that would be a huge mistake. I hope we all think about that. And I hope we make a decision we can live with.
I mean, his speech wasn't really that inspiring.
Hey.
Maybe it was how he delivered it.
They're ready for you.
Ready?
A jury recommended that Lyle and Erik Menendez be sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. 3 days of deliberation, they opted to send the brothers to prison for the rest of their lives.
Jury did an excellent job. And we can all rest easier tonight knowing that Lyle and Erik Menendez will never be free men.
Man, it's a win. You know, they're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison. Better than watching them be strapped into a gurney at San Quentin as the state executes, find a way to positively contribute to society from prison. At least they won't be alone. They will have each other. What you're up to, trying to separate the boys, it's cruel, it's punitive.
God knows what they could cook up if they lived in the same prison for the rest of their lives.
Every client I have ever had, every one, I have acquitted. Erik and Lyle Menendez are probably the least dangerous of all of them.
They're liars. They shot their parents while they were sleeping on a couch.
Yes, I know. What we did was very wrong, and I get that. Spend the rest of our lives in prison? Like, that's just...
I want to say something. Maybe Sid. The appeals process, it's good that you're going through that. I don't want getting out of prison to be the only thing you hope for. Erik, your life isn't here now. You've got to find meaning and purpose in your life in here. I've seen it happen, and I have complete faith that you will find that. What's going on?
You and your brother are being transferred.
Around your little bitty finger with your magic smile. I'm gonna miss you, baby.
Where are we going?
Folsom Prison. Get comfy. It's a long drive.
Oh, they are going to different prisons.
Could make you change your point of view. You're
Oh, we were going to Folsom. You're going to Folsom. The brother's going someplace else.
It is beautiful.
Do you know that there is a shipwreck right underneath us?
Fishing for sharks.
Yeah. Didn't I tell you?
No. You said we were fishing.
No, I told you about the guy from Arista that I met with in New York. I lied to him and I said, yeah, me too. Let's do a shark fishing trip. Yes, sir. What kind of sharks are we getting today?
Mako, maybe a great white, but they'll be juveniles mostly.
Left me with those boys all by myself while you were off with her.
Kitty cat, look at me. The thing that I needed the most, I had it with me. I got you, and I love you. You know what? You should go back to journalism, Kitty.
Like what?
Report on how wonderful a husband I am.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, it's time to chum up the waters.
Boys, come back here! What is going on with them?
Just let them be.
You're not chickening out, are you? You bought the guns.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
How do you feel that the Menendez brothers might be getting their case reviewed?
I make no comments about my clients, none whatsoever. Attorney-client privilege never died.
Have you seen the documentary, Leslie?
No.
You haven't
Documentary?
I mean, no, in the series on Netflix. Have you?
That I heard about?
You-
No, I don't watch any of them.
No amount of media nor teenage petitions will alter the fate of these clients. Only the courts can do that, and they have ruled.
Well. So as we saw in this episode, clearly, the lawyer for Erik and Lyle Menendez, the lady, she was not liked by the judge. It seemed like overall, you could feel the tension in the air. Nobody liked either one, or none of them. The whole defendant counsel, I don't even know what the guy did. Did he even speak? I'm just going based on the actual show, what we saw. The judge shot her down with every objection. I didn't see her even win one objection. The prosecutor was extremely strong in the show, and he was ruthless. He destroyed and picked apart every single defense they had. Not only that, but one of the brothers, I think it's Lyle, right? Lyle, he's the oldest one. When he did the whole book thing and having the recording, I once again do not know if that was real, if that's really what he did, if he really did that how dumb that was to do. But that just destroyed their case. What happened with every single person? Either it seems like, were they lying? Were they telling the truth? Why did everybody start flipping on the brothers and telling their own versions of what happened and painting the parents as pretty decent parents? Throughout the whole episode, throughout the whole series, so, not this episode, through the series, it seemed as more the father and the mother were being painted as abusers, as people who didn't care about their kids. That's what it came like with all the other episodes. And then in this episode, they kind of flipped it over its head. Maybe the guy who did this show, maybe he was trying to show you, like, majority of the season, what the vast majority of people are hearing about the parents, and show that side, if that is true. And then in this episode, even just the ending where it had the parents like just having a conversation and falling in love, or like realizing, the father realizing how he hurt the mother, and then having them call the sons, and the sons seemed like they were already done. They already had the plan. They showed the son, the director showed the sons as just being very angry, like angry. They had enough of whatever, and they were going to kill. Not only did the other part of this series, the beginning part of the series, throughout show the sexual assault, the sexual abuse, but also did show about money, about the will. And here in this last episode, it gave you this feeling, this gut feeling that maybe it wasn't all what they were saying, but was it really about the money? So it's very interesting. And listen, us just coming off of this election, the narrative of whoever it is that can spin. You saw the jury literally hear all the evidence, and that one lady was just so vocal. If that actually, I wonder if that happened too. Did the jury have a heart attack in the Menendez case? I want to know, is that true? According to an April 1996 interview with Court TV reporter Mary Jane Stevenson and a juror in the brothers' second trial named Leslie Highlands, a similar incident did happen. A jury had a heart attack during first deliberations and was replaced, Stevenson said. So she actually did have a heart attack, Leslie Highland. Well, this says position that Leslie aprons during the first trial can no longer be a retrial. To the juror and more agitated while demanding they send both of them to the gas chamber. So the juror got very upset and wanted them be put in the gas chamber. She went on a particularly nasty rant, and then she collapsed. We soon learned she had a heart attack, which could have been an artistic liberty taken by a show. Oh, artistic liberty. I can pronounce. By Ryan Murphy. Here's the thing, though, that actually happened. According to Los Angeles Times, 4 women, whatever, did in fact go into cardiac arrest. She, along with a pregnant jury, was dismissed for medical reasons, but returned in time for the sentencing. She felt Erik and Lyle were spoiled brats who had their whole life. She went on to say they were raised to be ruthless, they were raised without a conscience, and their parents produced exactly what they hoped. Ruthless, conscienceless individuals who decided they wanted to take over. So it seems as the jury lady who had a heart attack ended up coming back, as well as another jury who was pregnant. So I guess she actually did have say, but maybe she changed her opinion of that. Also, there was a lot of talk about the Menendez brothers having a re-sentence, I believe next month in December. I believe that's what it was. But it seems as the DA, is it the DA? LA to turf, yeah. That guy, George Gascon or whatever, he lost his re-election in this horrible election process that we just went through. My opinion only right now. But so there's a new guy, a new DA. Is he the DA? Is that what this was? Anyways, regardless, there's somebody else coming in named Hotchman, who runs as an independent, and he is going to postpone, most likely, this resentencing or relooking into this case. He's saying, I will have to review the confidential prison files for each brother, the transcripts from both trials, and speak to the prosecutors, law enforcement, defense counsel, and the victims' family members. Only then can I make a decision. If for some reason I need additional time, I will ask the court for time. So there's that. Very interesting. If I ask for a delay, it won't be a delay for delay's sake, because I think the Menendez brothers, the victim family members, the public deserves to have a decision done as soon as it can be done in a thoroughly manner. So he's set to take office December 2nd, while the sentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers is set for December 11th. Let's just keep it real. Stop giving us BS. There's no way you're going to, in 9 days, review all of what you want to review, interview everybody you need to interview. Obviously, it's going to be delayed. Unless there's some, whatever, that immediately bubbles and say, you know, this is horrible. This is a miscarriage of justice. I can't imagine that this is going to be a priority for the new DA. She added, it's definitely not going to be his first order of business. Right. There's literally no way. There's no way that this DA is going to be looking at this as the first thing on his case file. So everybody who is cheering and hoping that the Menendez brothers gets out anytime soon, stop cheering. By the way, there's a new me. I'm just gonna be super blunt. I hope people, well, listen, it is what it is at this point. There's absolutely no way that he's going to look at it. So I don't know, is it gonna be years from now that he's gonna be looking into this case? Will he actually look through this case? The brothers are gonna still be in prison for the time being, for the more seeable future, unfortunately, due to the election. I want to say unfortunately because, look, they were already having this set. People were going to be looking back into the case. There was new evidence that has been found, a long list of evidence that I was actually reading about. So with that being said, just to make sure that, you know, that everything was done right the first time in the court's eyes, you know, damn, now it's not gonna happen that way. Regardless, thank you guys so much for being here. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you think about us doing that documentary. And check out all my other reactions while you are here. And until next time, I'm off this.
You gotta choose a side. You gotta do what's right. Look, I ain't got no time to be hanging around. Nobody trying to figure out if they good or evil. I'm fighting the crime, saving your lives one at a time. I'm killing the rhymes. I do it for the people. I'll be the fucker running through the six with a bag.